Boys and girls, I want to talk to you about the great sin of premarital sex. And I'm wondering why it doesn't get more attention in Orthodox Judaism today. I don't think I've ever heard a sermon in an Orthodox synagogue condemning premarital sex. I don't think I've ever heard it from the bima, the pulpit, in an Orthodox synagogue condemning premarital sex, let alone masturbation and petting. I mean, when I grew up as a Seventh-day Adventist Christian, we got a lot of lectures and we read a lot of articles and we saw films against petting and French kissing and masturbation and premarital sex and oral sex. And I mean, these are all big no-nos. Dennis Prager accurately notes that in conservative Christianity, sexual sins are the biggest sins. I'm just wondering why they don't get much attention in Orthodox life. We have all these forums about homosexuality in Orthodox life, but we don't have any forums about masturbation in Orthodox life, or premarital sex in Orthodox life, or heavy petting in Orthodox life, heavy petting over clothes, over underwear, or under clothes. I think those are very important distinctions. And yet, the Orthodox rabbinate is strangely silent on heavy petting. Why? How can this be? Does not God belong in the bedroom or the back seat or in the closet? Do not Orthodox kids play 7 minutes in heaven where they pair up and go into the closet and engage in fondling and petting and French kissing and other terrible sins? I remember when I was 11 years old. I was at the Pacific Union College, it's the Seventh-day Adventist College in the Napa Valley, in the pool. And the lifeguard, quite an attractive young woman, around 20, in an attractive one-piece bathing suit, and she was talking in a completely matter-of-fact manner about going to see the movie Saturday Night Fever. Now, going to movies is prohibited in Seventh-day Adventism. And she was also talking about going disco dancing on Friday night, so violating the Sabbath and dancing, big sin. And I think she was also being pretty frank about engaging in sexual activity. Here I am, this impressionable preacher's kid, just 11 years old, and I was shocked. So I think the importance of this matter kind of changed in most forms of Christianity in the 1980s and 1990s, so that on most Christian college campuses today it's taken for granted that the kids are engaging in masturbation, French kissing, heavy petting, and premarital sex. I remember, I think it was 1982, and I was feigning that I was asleep in the backseat of the car, and I'd been hanging out with the church's secretary, and she was very cute, and she was sitting there in the driver's seat, and her boyfriend was in the other front seat. And I think they were talking about how they'd gone to my father, the preacher man, for counseling, and they'd confessed to him that they were having premarital sex and were unable to stop. And I think my father advised them to stop and warned them that it jeopardized their future happiness. So I think this is why I'm so unhappy. My father's right. I've had so much premarital sex that has totally jeopardized my happiness, and I'm just lost in this vortex of lust. Oi, what a big sinner I am.